Draymond, what kind of tone does this win set for the rest of the season?
None. It's good to get a win, though, to start the season off, but it don't really mean much. We got a lot of things we can improve up on, and we will. I think we left so many opportunities out there, especially in transition, offensively in the first half. In particular, the second quarter, we were wrecked. And so we can correct some of that stuff. But it's good to get off to a good start. We kind of fighting upstream most of last year. You don't want to do that this year, so it's important to get off to a good start. So that's about it. But other than that, it's just one game.
It seemed like you made it a point to kind of find Kuminga late at the free throw line. It was after his offensive rebound. Was that about that rebound, or was it maybe even about, his grander performance tonight?
His performance was great. That rebound is what everyone in the world has been waiting to see. You got that athleticism. You go make big plays like that. You got superstar potential. You go make big plays. Those are game-winning plays. What did we get? Two free throws out of that? Those are game-winning plays. And so, we all can ask for opportunity. When you ask for opportunity, you must deliver. And I think he's been very vocal about his opportunity, and he delivered. And so, when you see a guy that's willing to put their neck on the line and be vocal, and then they deliver, you also must reward them. Because if they don't, you tear them down. That's just naturally what happens. If you be vocal and you don't deliver, you get torn down. So when you're vocal and you go deliver the way he did all night, he was guarding Luka all night. And, Luka, he finished with 39, 40, something like that?
43.
But it was like we didn't have to commit two guys. So you get 43, which I always tell these guys, you're not stopping a great scorer. That's just not the way this league is set up for you to stop great scorers. But you do make it tough on them. And I think all night he made it tough on him. His body on body all night. And so you live with the results. And over the course of 48 minutes, you just want to wear him down. And I think J.K. was all over him. But then, he stayed so patient offensively. It wasn't going well for him offensively early, and he just stayed patient. And as he stayed patient, the game just flipped in his direction. And so it was about the rebound, but the overall of what we've seen since the day he showed up to camp. The force he's playing with, the force he's running with, the force he's rebounding with, the passes he's making, the drop off the owl was crazy. He couldn't make that play 2 years ago, and so he was incredible tonight, and I want to make sure he know that.
Draymond, I know you guys have played the Lakers so many times over the years. This is always like one of those marquee NBA matchups and national TV matchups. But it was a little different tonight. Like Luka out there, and there's no LeBron. Like he's up on his high chair that he's got to sit on right now. And I mean, is it weird? It's the first opening night he's missed in 23 years.
Yeah, Brian old ass was over there in his Phil Jackson chair. No, it's always different when he's not out there. I think. Obviously, we've had battles with Luka as well. Luka is an incredible player, but Bron is Bron, and the battles that we've had over the years, you look forward to those, and so it's very odd. He don't miss many games, let alone a season opener, and so it's really odd not seeing him out there. You look over and he's sitting in street clothes. But, that's also why you go and get a Luka Doncic, because he's a 1A too, and he showed that tonight. But I've dealt with what Bron is dealing with, so I don't wish that on my worst enemy. It's you've lived that all day, every day. You sit down and your leg and your glutes start jumping. You know, you just standing there talking to someone, you get pain shooting down your leg and cramps, and you know. So I've lived that. You know, wishing him a speedy recovery. You know, and the thing about it is, it's not like there's no real timetable. Like it's you just kind of got to go and see how far you can push it, and then see how much further you can push it. It's a crappy injury. So definitely wishing him a speedy recovery. I think young fella in Charlotte was dealing with it last. Like that thing is no Trey Man. That thing is no joke. So wishing him a speedy recovery. You know, we enjoy them battles against him, and we're all not sure how many of them we have left. So definitely want to embrace them and have the opportunity to have a few more of them for sure.
Hey, Draymond, Jimmy's play speaks for itself, but what has he been like as a leader, whether it's the San Diego get-together, training camp practices? He's
been a great leader since the day he showed up. You know, we all heard all the talk about him last year, and that's not the guy who showed up to San Francisco. The guy who showed up to San Francisco is the guy we saw tonight. Great leader, encouraging teammates, telling guys what he see and making corrections, selling our team down and getting us good shots. You know, I had one turnover. He came over to me like, yo, man, we just got to get the ball, get shots on goal. Don't turn the ball, get shots on goal. You know, it's just that leadership. And then he's just a constant reminder. Like, he don't let you sulk. He don't let you drop your shoulders. He's going to be right there. Like, nah, man, this is what we're doing. We're not doing that. You know, and so, you know, it's been amazing having him here. And, you know, continue to build. He'll be an all-star again this year. So, you know, it's good to see him back being Jimmy Butler that this league has grown to know.
Hey, Dray. At least from the outside, there appeared to be a perception over whether you and Jimmy would get along personality-wise and whether you guys would, chemistry-wise, be good together. It seems like you guys have absolutely silenced all of those doubts. If anything, you know, Steve said it's two of the ultimate competitors there are in this league. What's it been like with you two, and why has this worked so well?
It's worked so well because he can't beat me in dominoes. And he has the best Ron seller in the world, and I really like having rich friends. And he's one of my rich friends, so no. But like Steve said, you know, I have the utmost respect for an ultimate competitor, and I have the utmost respect for alphas. You know, he's an alpha. You know, there was kind of this misconception of, oh man, Draymond's an alpha. Him and Jimmy are going to clash, but I've never really seen two alphas clash. Because there's a respect for knowing how you are and what you are and how you go about things. And so, yeah, I mean, I think everybody just think I'm a complete idiot and I'm going to get into it with everybody, and that's fine. But one of the better teammates I've had, no question. He's the ultimate team guy. You know, you look at those Miami teams and why they were able to win, and, you know, the way they were. He was uplifting so many guys that may not necessarily be exactly who they looked like in the position next to him. But when you got a leader like that that's capable of creating any shot for you and uplifting you and making you believe you can do more than you can, that's the result of it. You know, so it's been fun having him as a teammate. The chemistry's great. Everybody can stop worrying about me and Jimmy. They should worry about Buddy and Jimmy. It's not me.
Hey, Draymond, you've been pretty vocal in the past about Jonathan. He's going to be a star. We don't trade stars. Tonight, as you said, he delivered. How does that change this team when he plays the way he did tonight?
It just adds a totally different dimension that I don't think any other guy on this team can add for us. You know, we've all believed he's a star all along. I still believe that. And I think he's going to continue to show that more and more as this year go on. You know, we've been kind of running different stuff. So you're still kind of finding your way. And all preseason, I can see him kind of just like, you know, you get a little frustrated because you really don't know where to go. You know, you really don't know how to pick and choose your spots. And he looked like that in the first half. You know, he'll get it, and it's like he should attack, but you're second guessing a little bit because you're still filling it out. And then the second half, it just started going for him. Like it all fell into place, you know. And so he'll get better and better. You know, he'll get better. That group that we had out there to start the game hasn't played much at all. Jimmy had been out, you know, so it's going to take a little time to figure it out, you know, and figure the pieces out. But I think what you saw tonight is what you're going to see all year from JK. And it's only going to get better, like I said, because he'll get more familiar with where he should go, when he should go, when not to go. So, yeah, you know, people like to throw stuff back in my face, so I don't say things that I don't necessarily mean, but I've told y'all all along I think he's a star, and I think he'll continue to show that. The impact he held in the game, he took 11 shots. Looked like he took way more shots than that to me, but that's just because you had an overall impact on everything, you know, and so, yeah, I think he'll continue to get better and better. 6 assists. That got to be a career high also.
One shot.
Oh. Definitely a career high in meaningful games, so it's nice.
All right, Jimmy's on his way in.